il est là, il est là. He's here, my people, he's here. All right, OK. Alors là, on passe en anglais et on amène notre invité qui est là. Thank you. We are moving into English and our guest is here. Yeah, baba, ouais. It's happening. It's happening. All right, let's move into English and bring in our guest. Thank you, my people. All right, my people, I will add David Himbara on to the screen. David Himbara, you are. And then we're gonna see connection lost connect. I see you. This is better. Okay, all right. Nice. Okay, so let me bring you into the show. This is very nice. All right, thank you very much. And then I'm just going to switch like that so that I see you on my right. Perfect. Yeah, welcome back to U&I Talk Show. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Welcome back to U&I Talk Show. David Himbara, writer. I have the books right here with me in studio. I don't know if it's allowing me to see it. But David Himbara is a Rwandan writer, Rwandan Canadian, African Canadian. And he has also worked with Kagame, Paul Kagame in Rwanda, even before we called him the Kagame in Rwanda. And today, David Himbara, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts on the sanctions that the USA, on the resolution that the USA is, the UN has suggested, and then on the sanctions, and also on the sanctions and on Kabarebe? What are your thoughts on that? And also, I remember a joke about how Kagame slaps around Kabarebe, and now Kabarebe is the first one to be slapped around with sanctions. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, it's about time. It's about time. It's really about time. I mean, considering what this regime has done in DRC since 1996, we are in 2025. How many years is that? That's extraordinary. The regime has gotten away with murder for all these years. So, even these things that these governments are doing, I'll believe it if I see when I see it. Really, really, really. I'm waiting to see if they follow through the rhetoric, because it's just been too long. He has done everything. Various governments. I mean, I don't even remember who was the president of the U.S. in 1996. I think it was Clinton.
Yeah.
Okay, then followed Bush, Obama, uh, Trump, Biden, and Trump again. We're talking about how many terms, presidential terms there. You're going to have 5. So this they have toyed away with this man. All these presidents that I just mentioned. So even this one, I'll believe it if I say it. It's one thing to say la 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 la, but it's quite another thing to, even sanctioning Kabarebe, that's nothing. Sanction the man who is moving. Kabarebe is just a tool. Sanction the man who is, Kabarebe is a machete. So sanction the man who is using machete to kill people. That is how I see it.
Thank you very
See,
much.
games, games, games. That
And
is
it's
my
been
view.
so many years. Like what more does he have to do? He just escalated the war, or everything they told him to do, he didn't do. He just escalated the war, went all in Goma, Bukavu, trying to repeat 96.
Uh, Louise, listen to this. You and I, we've been through this, before. You know, if you see what this man has done and has avoided, let me begin with the case of International Court of Justice. That was around 2004. That's when the DRC took Rwanda and Uganda to the International Court of Justice for basically crime against humanity, genocide in Congo, looting of the Congo. So let me remind you and your listeners that uh, so Uganda lost the case and it was punished with sanction, and also they had to repay to DRC $2 billion. So Uganda has been repaying in segments. Guess what happened with Rwanda? Rwanda avoided the crime. And how did Rwanda avoid the crime, Luis? Rwanda, the government of Kagame, they went and found that when Rwanda signed the UN Genocide Convention in 2073, the then regime of Habyarimana put in a clause that in the case of a charge of a genocide, the International Court of Justice would not have a jurisdiction. So they put in that clause. So Habyarimana signed, but put in a clause that in the event of genocide, the ICG would not have jurisdiction.
Hmm. Rwanda n'ubwenge, eh?
And then Kagame said, look, You guys, you don't have any jurisdiction.
This is so perfect. He's
Yeah.
like, this is so
So,
perfect for me because I'm into this genocide thing.
but you see the irony.
Yeah,
This is the irony. So a Hutu dictator put in a clause against ACG so that he would kill Tutsi, and then a Tutsi regime comes in, uses that clause to kill Hutu. Do you follow me?
yeah. It's a huge lesson for Rwandans because, as they say, "Ruchira mukaso rugatwara nyoko," right?
Yeah, you see, that is why we don't learn. Rwanda cannot done these regimes. Basically, it's cut and paste. But each one calls itself Hutu or Tutsi. But they are not. They are not. They are neither Hutu nor Tutsi. They are killers. But Rwandans follow. Oh, this one is a Tutsi, so it's my dictator. So my dictator is better than yours. Then the Hutu says, "Oh no, no, no! My dictator was better than yours. He did not kill so many as yours." And on and on and on and the rubbish. It never stops. Buriya people say there is a saying that uh, people get the governments they deserve. So we get the governments that we deserve
Mm.
because we are the ones who put them there and give them the tools to kill one of us. And of course, for my people, Abatwa, each regime kills. They're almost wiped out. No longer than 20,000 of them left in Rwanda.
Hmm.
No, 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 no. This has to stop. So even if you have America, I mean, okay, fine, but what?
They need to
Why
follow
beat around the
through.
bush?
We can't believe them until we see them following through because they have been supporting this regime for a while. So people who don't know David Himbara, please go get his books on Amazon because he has a book on Rwanda's stillborn middle income economy and Kagame's economic mirage. People who like to talk about the economic success of Rwanda. David Himbara is an economist, PhD, who has exposed how Rwanda is just an economic mirage. And before we move into the KinyaRwanda, can we talk about this? How the Kagamistan is always trying to uh, erase the crimes that he's doing by, for example, bringing in celebrities and stars. This weekend, at the same time as he was invading in Congo, killing and plundering Africans, he has a T-shirt talking about global citizen, and you have this John Legend go to Rwanda to perform, and then he shows up in the stadium looking like like ancient Rome when the empire is falling, and they distract people in games, huge, massive, massive games in the arenas, right? But meanwhile, he's killing and plundering in Congo, but importing in celebrities from America and sponsoring teams in Europe so that people may see positively his regime. Like, what do you think? Is this part of the economic mirage and the stillborn middle income economy that you have exposed?
Ah, my sister, my daughter. Go say, Mbambuze n'ibyo mvuga. We have talked over and over again. He changes, people, he loses a friend here, then grabs another there. Louise, what is the end of this?
It's like he's committing suicide in Congo, this escalation of the war. To me, I see it as he sees the end and he's trying to go down fighting and he's trying to bring down as many people as possible with him.
Oh my dear, no, listen. I'm really speechless. When I see these governments, Europeans and the US, ni province ya nyomri ya abanyamerika yabo y'abanyamerika
Canada
the
the
2050
51 province.
the 20 na governor Trudeau tu nta kigenda.
Oh, Governor Trudeau. We can't even talk about Canada, man. Canada is a mess right now.
yewe harya ngo akabi gasekwa nk'akeza.
Yeah, exactly. Rwandans,
None
we have the right to talk
watumye
about it.
nibuka n'ikinyarwanda cyari cyaranyibagiwe.
We are about to reach the KinyaRwanda section. Don't worry, we'll reach in KinyaRwanda in 5 minutes.
Nothing really much to say, my dear.
Hmm?
I'm
This
not
is
impressed one bit about the American action. No.
mm,
No,
they
let's
should
say
do
they
more.
were, yeah. No, let's say they were, why is it that Trump really shakes up an innocent people in the country, like Ukraine? He beats them with a sledgehammer. And then when he comes to this killer, akavuga n'utuntu ngo twa sanctions n'uyu nguyu. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's not fair at all. Na
Hmm.
biriya twajyaga tujyamo to go into the congressional hearings kuvuga ibya
Congressional
Kagame.
hearing. You have
It
been
has
part of
not
those.
paid off in my view. It's just talk. Talk.
And what do you see? What do you see as do you think out here in Rwandans, like what's going to happen after Kagame? Are we going to have elections or are we going to have another dictator come in if we don't watch out?
uravuga after Kagame falls.
Yeah, after Kagame falls for Rwandans, for us.
Well, maze iminsi nandika igitabo cyanjye cya memoir,
Mm,
maze tuzanakivugana none gisohoka in about a month or so.
thank you, absolutely.
Yeah, nagize a memoir of my days in that office.
Mm-hmm.
It's strictly nothing else but my time inside the president's powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole book ravuga ko buriya umudamu we she's the power behind the throne,
Mm, the
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 wife.
the first lady, his wife, is the power behind the throne.
Yes, in Kanjogera.
Mm.
Nk'uko n'uwa Habyarimana yari Kanjogera.
Mm.
Hanyuma rero
Ndumva
na
bigezaho
Kanjogera
bya
nyawe muri
Macron na
uriya
Brigitte.
wa 1896, 1895, who happens to be the grand aunt, the great grand aunt wa
Mm.
Kagame.
Mm.
Nibo bategeka.
Mhm.
So rero tuzareba niba Kanjogera azafata akabasha to hijack the regime. Natayihijackinga bizaba bikuma bya bindi nyine ubwo tuzasubira muri bya bindi ngo my dictator is better than yours. Niba ari abahutu bazayifata bizaba iby'abahutu, niba ari umututsi bazayifata bizaba iby'abatutsi. It doesn't end. Kuko na political parties zabo urazireba ziba ziri fragmented along the same lines. So I'm not very pessimistic. I'm not very optimistic. I don't
Mhm.
see any signs for optimism.
Hmm. Hmm.
Sorry to bring. Sorry to be so gloomy.
It's okay. It's okay. It's your view, like we sometimes we need to hear that view as well so we can prepare and know what's going to happen. So I hear you. I hear you. Okay, so let's move into the KinyaRwanda section and keep talking about it. And then even the comments that I see in the comments, I'll bring
Ariko niba
them.
ushaka ko ikinyarwanda cyanjye atari kizima.
Nta kibazo, nta kibazo. Barakubabarira. Okay, my people. Thank you, everyone who's been following us in French and English. Let's move into KinyaRwanda. Murakoze, murakoze.